Hey guys, it's been a while since I've made a video. Sorry about that. So I've been working the past 3 months very hard on Ben 10 Alien Overload. And during that process of working on the game, I did a whole bunch of research on the home planet of Azmuth, the Galvan, Albedo, Galvan Prime. So here we go. Season 2, Episode 1 of the Ben 10 Guide, Galvan Prime. Galvan Prime is the homeworld of the Galvan race. The Galvan race is the smartest race of beings in the Milky Way galaxy. Before the Galvan were the dominant race of beings on Galvan Prime, there was many other larger beings on the planet and predators of the Galvan race, such as the Omnitrix. The larger beings on the planet eventually discovered the Galvan and used them as pets. And they had them build all of their technology, weapons, and use them as spies and other slave ownery type of things before the Galvan eventually wised up and overthrew their former masters. And if you think I'm pulling this stuff from the Ben 10 reboot, nope. I looked on Ben 10 Planet's page back in 2011 and it mentions the Galvan race used to be pets from larger beings on their planet. I don't know where this information comes from, most likely from Bandai or the Ben 10 Trivia Marathon that once aired on Cartoon Network, but the point is, this was canon back in 2011 at the very least, and it later became canon again in the Ben 10 reboot. Azmuth is of course from Galvan Prime and is also the creator of the Omnitrix. After Azmuth returned from Xenon, he was now dubbed First Thinker Azmuth. This, of course, implies that he is the leader of the Galvan race now. And before he became First Thinker Azmuth, he also created the Galvanic Mechamorphs. Basically, he tried to experiment on Galvan Prime's moon, Galvan B, and accidentally brought its minerals to life, and they became the Galvanic Mechamorphs. And of course, afterwards, the Galvan race and the Galvanic Mechamorphs grew a peaceful coexistence. And in Ben 10 Ultimate Alien, this is even referenced whenever Kevin shows up on the planet and a Galvanic Mechamorph protects Azmuth from intruders. Now here comes the weird part, which is in Ben 10 Alien Force, we get to see Galvan Prime for the first time, and it's blown up by the hybrid. And then it comes back. Yeah. It just shows up again in Ben 10 Alien Force Season 3, and then they don't explain it until Ben 10 Ultimate Alien. Oh, okay. So, yeah, in Ben 10 Ultimate Alien, whenever Ben shows up on Galvan Prime, Azmuth says, "Welcome to Galvan Mark II." And Gwen's like, "You rebuilt your whole planet?"
"We had to. It was damaged during the war."
I do have my own theory on how they managed to rebuild their world, but that's not canon, so I'm not going to mention it. And the planet looks exactly the same as it did before it was destroyed. And then in Ben 10 Omniverse, it looks completely different than in Ben 10 Ultimate Alien. And this is including both present day scenes on Galvan Prime and in flashbacks. The Celestial Sapiens made a ton of changes to this planet. In Ben 10 Alien Force, Galvan Prime was covered in skyscrapers, and then in Ben 10 Omniverse, now all the houses are made out of mushrooms, and the planet is covered in water. Am I mad about this change? Because it's different. Nah, not really. Galvan Prime to me just kind of looked boring in the previous show. It just looked like the alien version of New York City. Woo, is that exciting? No, not really. It just visually, Galvan Prime in Omniverse is just more interesting. I don't know. And Ben 10 Omniverse also gives us a whole lot more of locations than we ever saw in the previous series. In Ben 10 Omniverse, we get to see Azmuth's tower again. It didn't really change all that much from Alien Force. We also get to see that underneath the city where Azmuth lives is where the Galvan are born as tadpoles before they mature into bigger frog aliens. Slightly bigger. They're not very big. We also get to see the Galvan Historical Museum and the Plumber Training Camp. And the final thing I really have to say about Galvan Prime in the original continuity is Ultimate Albedo. So there is this one guy named Albedo who made an Omnitrix and then made another Omnitrix and then gained the powers of the Omnitrix and then made another Omnitrix. With that final Omnitrix Albedo made, he used it to become an ultimate version of himself. So we see in one possible timeline what the Galvan could evolve into. Basically, the Galvan become so smart, their minds become so huge that they lose their ability to use their arms and legs and have to use a hover chair, looking like a ripoff of MODOK from Marvel Comics. Evolved Galvans can also shoot lasers from their third eye, release energy pulses from their mind, and they have telekinesis. And that's all I have to say about the planet Galvan Prime and its inhabitants. Of course, I could go more into characters from Galvan Prime, like Azmuth Albedo, or its sister planet, Galvan B, home of the Galvanic Mechamorphs and Malware. But all of those things, they can be saved for future episodes of the Ben 10 Guide. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Season 2 of the Ben 10 Guide. The next episode, I have no idea what I'm going to do. I would have never made this episode of the Ben 10 Guide if it wasn't for the video game project I'm a part of, Ben 10 Alien Overload. You can check out its page on Galvan Prime, which I will update after this video is uploaded. And, yeah, we have a demo of a mini game coming up soon. Release date? Unknown at this point, but sometime in 2019, you'll get to play a demo of one part of this game. Stay tuned until then. Bye, guys.